Jerry Azar, we have a wonderful guest in the studio.
Donald Dell, Hall of Famer. Donald Dell, recently inducted into the Tennis Hall of Fame. And Donald, storied career, co-founded the ATP, founded ProServe, and one of the first tennis agents. I think you were the first tennis agent, right?
I was, Jerry. Yeah, thank you.
All right. We're going to talk about sports because, like in the real world, we're trying to navigate through this recession. But it appears the U.S. Open, with record crowds, all 74 luxury suites sold out. They have served an ace on the reception. How did they do that?
Well, it's remarkable, actually. Since the Wimbledon finals, I think the ticket sales they were down 10% before Wimbledon. I think Roddick playing so well at Wimbledon was wonderfully helpful to ticket sales. The first day, Monday, was the largest crowd they've ever had in the history of the tournament on Monday, which was very significant when Roger Federer played.
Now, we have seen this. I do sports business also, and it seems like there are sponsorships, there are corporations, they're pulling out of sports, especially on the PGA. General Motors withdrew from the Buick Open, broke a sponsorship deal they had with Tiger Woods. We've seen that in tennis, but you feel the sponsors are coming back within 6 months. What crystal ball, what brings us on?
Well, I think it's a matter of whether you keep what you have versus new sponsors. We ran a tournament 3 weeks ago, the Legg Mason Tennis Classic. It's $1.5 million on the ATP Tour. We didn't lose one sponsor. We had two sponsors that asked to defer some of the money they were paying, which we agreed to. But the hardest part is to get new sponsors coming in. The new ones are apprehensive and cautious, and they say, call us back in 6 months. So we were very fortunate. We didn't lose any sponsorship, but to build new ones, we're really going to have to wait until probably January, February.
One thing great about Donald Dell is to never make the first offer is you talk about your mistakes that you've made and the learning process along. If you go back to the glory, I think, of Bjorn Borg and Guillermo Vilas, that great match at Forest Hills years ago, and of course what you did with Stan Smith. Everybody wanted to be cool and have that Stan Smith shoe, and you said you screwed up the contract. Never did you think that they would be selling 8 different Stan Smith models 30 years later. How are you going to rectify that with the shoe company from Germany?
Well, I think Adidas is very happy with the shoes. They are selling. Last year, they sold $65 million worth of shoes. The Stan Smith Adidas shoe is the largest selling shoe in the history of the sport by far. And Stan is 62 years old. And
he'll stop there. He'll always be 32 years old. Continue.
Well, he's one of the great, what I call the oldies but goodies. Yeah. I mean, he's been such a gentleman and such a charismatic person on the court and then off the court for years and years. People now seem to want more and more of the old champions. Jim Courier has a tour for on the Champions Tour, and he's a terrific guy. And I think the people that last in the minds of the public and in business are the ones that have conducted themselves so well off the court, not just winning matches.
We are talking with Tennis Hall of Famer Donald Dell. And Donald, we had a story this week about Maria Sharapova. Sports Illustrated said she was the highest earning woman in endorsements, $22 million, that she may back out of some deals and is looking in new deals to get equity and get a percentage of the sales. In today's climate, is she dreaming?
I don't think in her case she is dreaming. I think she's got to start playing well again, though, and she's had a bad shoulder injury. She's been out for about 9 months. The problem is, you know, she's very attractive and very good-looking, very articulate, but to do what they're hoping to do, I think it will be very difficult in this climate unless she suddenly wins the U.S. Open. She won Wimbledon at 17, so she had a head start in the business world. But the tennis as a platform for her business dreams is very important. You got to win to make the deals.
Why should people read this book, Never Make the First Offer? Just 10, 15 seconds. What's the single message from Donald?
Well, I think the message there is that making deals is really a study of human nature and understanding the people you're dealing with. And I'm hoping that there'll be 4 or 5 tips that people get out of the book based on a lot of personal anecdotes.
I'm going to read it because I'm the worst negotiator known to mankind. You're looking at the loser of them all. Donald Dell, thank you so much. Congratulations on a great U.S. Open. Of course, we'll have our Vera Gibbons out at the U.S. Open coming along on Bloomberg surveillance.